now comes the news, courtesy of Mike Silver of NFL Media, who also went to Cal, just like Aaron Rodgers. I'm not speculating on who his source is.
Well, he always knows Jared Goff and Aaron Rodgers news. I'll say that.
I'm just pointing out they both went to Cal. That's all I'm saying. But Silver reports, not with Rodgers as his source, that the Packers are working on restructuring Aaron Rodgers' contract to create cap space. Now, there was another report out there pointing out that the Packers already have, and this is a fairly common tool, you have the ability baked into the existing contract to do a simple restructuring whenever you want, where you take the total compensation for the year, reduce it to the minimum salary, turn the rest into a signing bonus, and it gives you a smaller cap number. You no longer need, in some of these contracts, the permission of the player to do it. Not that there's any reason for the player to say no. The player's getting all of his money right now.
Right.
It's all in hand right now. But if the player wants to be a jerk, what's in it for me? The player can be and say, well, what's in it for me? Well, it helps you. What does it do for me? Well, maybe I want something more. And the fact that there's even a negotiation suggests that it is something more than just creating cap space by moving money around. So that's what's fascinating to me, Chris, because I was told back in that window after the NFC Championship loss to the Bucs,
right,
he wants a new contract, not because he wants new money, but he wants a contract that is structured in a way that makes it clear that the Packers are tied to him. These contracts are always one way at a minimum, where the player's tied to the team, and after you get through the early years of the contract and the guarantees go away, the team can rip it up whenever they want. And the Packers are now in a year-to-year arrangement. I think Aaron Rodgers wants and deserves more than a year-to-year arrangement, and this may be the framework for getting that done.
Yeah, this is where I hear everything you're saying. I just is this about that, right? And Rodgers getting a little bit more security here to go like, okay, wait, I'm still one of the best players in the league, if not like number 2, only behind number 15 at Kansas City. Well, why don't I have a little bit more of a team that's, giving me a future here? I understand that thought completely. I do. I also sit here and think, Mike, I don't know. I mean, where are they sitting right now? A little more than $3 million under the salary cap number as far as, the penalty, whatever it may. I'm blanking on the way to phrase that. But, are they doing this to make a move here too? That's the other thing I think about. Is there something that we're not seeing? Is it T.Y. Hilton on their radar? And they just want to have a little extra money to get a guy like I don't think it's going to take a ton of money. We're seeing what the wide receivers are going for. Guys like A.J. Green, T.Y. Hilton. I mean, I think a lot of them are going to be 1-year underwhelming type deals. Are they looking to make a move to help out the team, the offense, Rodgers? Or is this simply something about they're looking at, down the line trying to figure out their team? I don't know, but that's what's crossed my mind.
It may not be about salary cap at all.
Right.
That may be the way that Rodgers told it to Silver, if Rodgers was Silver's source, because Rodgers does not want to be characterized in a negative light by anyone. It's almost an obsession with him. And when you look at the way Russell Wilson has been aggressive with the Seahawks this year, the way that Deshaun Watson had been aggressive with the Texans a week ago and prior to that, before everything changed with Deshaun Watson, this desire to never be characterized in a negative light by anyone, and specifically not by Packers fans. I mean, I can understand it because he witnessed the venom that ultimately was directed at Brett Favre when it was clear that the Packers wanted to move on from Favre to Rodgers. The Packers fans got mad that Favre ultimately didn't go along with that plan and walk off into the sunset when the Packers didn't want him playing for them anymore. So I think that's part of it. He doesn't want to be perceived as greedy. He doesn't want to be perceived as rocking the boat. But look, I'm looking at his contract right now. His average salary is $33.5 million. You know who's making $33.5 million per year?
Jared
Goff. Contracts right now. And Carson Wentz.
Yeah, right. Negative Ghost Rider, that doesn't make sense. I mean, what?
Forget about Mahomes and Dak and anyone else. When Aaron Rodgers, the MVP of the National Football League in 2020, is making the same as one guy who was in the middle of a storm of dysfunction in Philly,
right?
And but for the Colts, there wouldn't have been any other team that wanted him to take on that contract, frankly, at this point. And Jared Goff, who was hidden in the Matthew Stafford contract to conceal the fact that it was a Brock Osweiler hot potato move to give the Lions net draft assets to take Goff off the roster. Those two guys are making the same as Aaron Rodgers, and Rodgers is smart enough to look at that and say something's wrong with this picture, and something is wrong with that picture.
Sure.
He's perfectly justified in wanting more, but more than anything else, wanting to know that the Packers are not preparing the moment he shows the slightest sign of slippage. Slightest sign of slippage. Try saying that 3 times fast. To float him on an iceberg and put Jordan Love in at quarterback. I think that's what this is all about. And that's what it should be about. He's never going to have more leverage over the Packers, Chris, than he has right now, coming off of arguably the best season of his career.
Yeah, I mean, I understand it from Aaron Rodgers, the aspect all the way here. I mean, of course he doesn't want to be killed in the court of public opinion. I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens with this restructuring. I am curious to see what exactly is going to be done, or if there's going to be more money added to it, or if it's simply, like you just said, converting money to guaranteed money, and there's really nothing that needs to be done there. But I would understand Aaron Rodgers wanting them more security. I would understand him also, worrying about the way he's perceived in the public. He's done everything right for this football team, always. So I don't think he's going to let them off the hook here. They haven't always done right by him. So I think that he is, protective of his legacy and what it means to the Green Bay Packers fans and all of those type of things. He doesn't want to be perceived as maybe, for lack of a better way, selfish, like Brett Favre was a little bit on the way out. I'm not saying Brett Favre was, but you know what I'm trying to say. It was a little bit. It was a little bit like, hey, you guys are going to wait for me every year, and I'll figure out if I'm going to play and do all that. So, yeah, maybe he's going about his business more in a quiet manner. My other big thing here, Mike, is just, what do the Packers do? What do the Packers commit? How much do they want to commit? How many years do they want to commit? I mean, you drafted a quarterback in the top 32 picks of the draft in the 2020 draft. I mean, it doesn't make sense if we're going to wait till year 4 to play him. That's where I'd go, then see, that's a wasted pick. We're 4 years down the road. We got a quarterback. Oh, great. I mean, you're going to pass up 15 other quarterbacks on the way before the time he finally plays. So that's where I'm interested to see where this goes too, because I want to see the commitment they're going to make to them, because it is going to give us a little bit of an inkling to where they think maybe Jordan Love is, or, how committed or not are they to Rodgers. I think that's a big piece of this puzzle, and we haven't seen Jordan Love play preseason football yet. We haven't seen anything, so I have no idea what they think of him or what he did last year or anything like that, and that's why I'm interested in this whole deal.
I'm also very intrigued by the dynamic between Rodgers and the front office, and ultimately Mark Murphy, who is every bit as smart as Rodgers. He wouldn't be running the Green Bay Packers if he wasn't. Former player, an old timer, so he understands how things are done, Pete. And I think Murphy, smart enough to know how to push the buttons on Aaron Rodgers to get the desired outcome that he may be looking for. Because at the end of the day, Murphy knows that Rodgers doesn't want to be criticized by anyone really, but especially not by Packers fans. And so what's Rodgers going to do? What's he going to do? Is he going to hold out? Is he going to demand a trade? The most he's going to do is make some passive-aggressive comment that he walks back the moment that someone like me spots it and says, ha-ha! He's got a problem with the Green Bay Packers, and he's trying to subtly let them know it. Yeah, he does, but he doesn't want anyone to notice it, and that's when he gets upset. So I think Murphy is smart enough to know how Aaron Rodgers is going to play this game. And at the end of the day, all Murphy has to say is, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. You want that? Well, sorry, you signed a contract through 2023. No one put a gun to your head. We've got these rights. This is how it works,
Yeah.
Aaron. You've been around long enough to know. You're smart enough to know. You wouldn't have signed that contract if you didn't know that this is what you were committing to. We can't do it. I'm sorry. We love you and we want you to be here, but we're not going to rip up this contract and make a commitment that undermines the duties that we have to the shareholders of this organization. It wouldn't surprise me if Murphy takes a bit of a hard line with it.
Well, he can do it. He's not going to win this war in the court of public opinion against Aaron Rodgers. He's not. It's not going to happen.
But if Rodgers doesn't,
I know
Rodgers
he'll
won't
have
engage,
to confront it a little bit. You're right.
That's the problem.
Right.
He can win it if he wants to.
Yes.
But he doesn't want to.
Well, he might have to come to that point if he doesn't feel like he's getting the security or support from the organization, to where, he'll have to take the maybe somewhat of the unpopular approach. But I'll be there to get his back like I usually am, right? And I'm going to go.
Yeah, me too, and he gets mad about it.
Well, okay, I know. Well, sometimes you call him out too, and I'm sure he doesn't like that. I mean, but we'll be there to call. We'll be there to back him up in this case. I think specifically because he has a lot he has a lot in his corner, a lot of evidence that shows like, wait, he's done this, and you guys have done not that great in your area. Whether it's supporting him with players, weapons, everything we've talked about, Super Bowl window, they never go all in. Super Bowl window, we draft your replacement when you're still, forget about last year, which was the best year in the NFL by a quarterback. I mean, still, the year before that, they went to the NFC Championship game, and there's no arguing that he was one of the 5 best quarterbacks in football. There was none of it. You couldn't argue with anybody. I don't think there's anybody in the NFL that would have gone after that 2019 season where they lost. Everybody, oh yeah, Aaron Rodgers still top 5 quarterback. Oh, no doubt. I mean, there's nobody that was going to deny that. So I think if it does get to that, Green Bay better be careful, because I think Rodgers is tactically smarter than a Brett Favre and has more bullets on his side, for lack of a better way to say it, to use against the organization, to where if they want to get in a public tiff, Rodgers is going to win, and they're going to be in a tough spot.
Yeah, I agree with you, but he has to be willing to take the fight to them, and he has been unwilling to do that over the years. He likes to do the little drive-by snide comment that isn't obvious to the average person that he's taking a shot, and then when someone recognizes he made a drive-by snide comment that wasn't supposed to be recognized, he gets upset, and that's just kind of the way that it's gone.
Well,
we support his effort. He deserves more. He deserves more than $33.5 million a year. He deserves more security if he wants it. And he had always said, I want to stay with the Packers into my 40s. I want to finish my career here. And they're the ones last year who put him through that rude awakening when they traded up to get Jordan Love. And I can't imagine there's a single Packers fan out there that feels good about the fact that the Packers used their 4th-round pick and their 1st-round pick last year to get a guy who contributed nothing to the effort to try to get to the Super Bowl.
Right.
And it's weird. Packers fans get mad when I point that out. It's like, are you in that deep of denial about this that you don't recognize that your team would have been better off? You don't know a damn thing about Jordan Love, and if anything, it's screwing up the relationship in the final days of Aaron Rodgers with the Packers. I'm not saying they should trade Jordan Love. I don't know what they could get for him at this point, but they need to renew their vows with Aaron Rodgers. They need to do the right thing here. Unless they're just manipulating him. And Chris, it may if just like was it Wes Welker who played better when he was pissed off? I think that they're trying to keep Aaron Rodgers in that thin area of sufficiently pissed off that he's highly effective, but not so pissed off that it creates a problem for us. I think they're trying to just the right amount of agitation for Aaron Rodgers is what Mark Murphy's trying to pull off. And you know what? Last year it worked. He was the MVP of football.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you. I don't think that's it, though. I don't think you need to do that to motivate Aaron Rodgers. I think he's got a motivation to be the greatest of all time. He's that kind of guy. So, they're okay. Yeah, maybe that is their tactic. But within doing that tactic, they have hurt their football team. And, again, Green Bay fans, I don't know what you want Mike to say there. You got picks that didn't help out your football team. It's 2020. The day of we're going to wait 3 years for this guy to help our team, that's done. That was 1974 thinking. That's it. The team that just won the Super Bowl had a starting right tackle who was drafted in the 1st round. He was great. Antoine Winfield, safety, made great plays. The wide receiver from Minnesota made great plays in the playoffs. I mean, so that day of thinking, it's outdated. And that's where, if I'm Rodgers, I'm pissed off about all of those type of things, let alone, like I said, we've said they haven't gone all in on him. And he's 36, right? He's 36. He's going to be 37 this year. In this day now, at 36 and 37, that's really like 31 and 32, 25 years ago. It really is. With the way guys like Rodgers take care of themselves, yeah, he's not like Brady totally, but it's not far off for the way he takes care of himself that way. And he's more physically gifted. So I don't think he's going to die out anytime soon. His arm is like one of those we talk about, Mike. He's going to be throwing lasers when he's in a wheelchair at 94. He'll be able to throw lasers still. And his movement, yeah, it's not like it used to be, but it's still really damn good and effective. So, yeah, you could see I still don't understand some of the moves by Green Bay there.
By the way, his 2-week stint as guest host of Jeopardy is coming up.
I can't wait.
Soon, I think, within the next couple of weeks. So we're going to see and hear from Aaron Rodgers plenty, and we'll see whether or not the Packers get this deal done.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.